boy, oh boy, I tell you what, Sony is good at teasing the fan base. They like to kind of put stuff out there and then just kidding, put stuff out there and just kidding. I mean, they've been doing this a lot lately. Personally, I think it's funny, but at the end of the day, I mean, I can understand why some people get kind of annoyed by it or a little bit kind of pissy or upset or whatever. But for me personally, I find it to be kind of humorous. I don't think too much about it. I'm not like, oh man, how dare Sony do this? It's crazy. But we do get some good confirmation from this as well. And a lot more information is always welcome with these type of announcements. Listen, the PlayStation 5 has been nothing short of a phenomenon as far as, consoles go. They couldn't really have asked for much better, in terms of wanting people to go out there and get this thing. Everybody wants one, but people are still having trouble finding one. I think that's going to be the biggest problem going forward is can they actually meet the demand? I mean, they claim they will, but then in Japan, they're getting outsold by the Xbox because they don't have enough stock. So this is a real problem. Again, we keep seeing this kind of stuff happen, and Sony always ends up looking better for it for some reason. I don't know, but I do find this to be a very good topic. And I just want to say, as far as where I can tell on this situation, I love the fact that Sony at least is kind of keeping things on a swivel. So we might not get the things as quickly as we want, or the announcements or confirmations as quickly as we want, but we're still going to get them. And, it does sound like, if you know anything about Sony at all, they're going to be giving us top quality content, and I think that's the most important thing, especially when it comes to something like a God of War Ragnarok, or something in their future, a Spider-Man 2 or Wolverine. Obviously people want the best of the best of the best with honors, and again, it's just one of those things that Sony seems to really excel at. So hopefully we continue to get those things. I want to get into this topic though, into this announcement, into this news, because I feel like it's breaking news, but it's also something that everybody is going to want to kind of hear, because I feel like, especially if you're not like somebody who's on a lot of sites every day, this is the type of stuff that kind of, you might miss. Even if you are on sites, you could miss this news, but I feel like it's worth talking about, so I want to go ahead and get started. Let's do that, should we? Yeah, we should. Let's go. All eyes are on Sony right now, and with good reason. They've had, so far, a pretty decent year when it comes to the first-party output, and it looks like that's going to continue to get even better. Now, on the other side of the coin, we have Microsoft, who obviously has had the worst, if not, one of the worst first-party years of all time in 2022, and that's coming off of, having a couple years where they had basically nothing as well up until last year. They didn't have a first-party game since Gears of War 5 in September 6, 2019, I believe. So yeah, they went a good portion of the better of 2 years without a AAA from the first party, and now this year it looks like they're going to go the entire year without a AAA from the first party, which is really unfortunate if you think about it. But I do hope that they get things together. But this is more about Sony, because Sony has done a marvelous job of getting stuff out this year. Yeah, I mean, look, the pandemic didn't do anybody any favors. Let's just be real about that. Nobody got anything from that, especially game developers. Look at all the games we've had delayed and redelayed, and of course it's going to cause problems. And I've stated this not as a bad thing, but just a factual thing. So God of War, and it looks like it's still going to come out this year. Gran Turismo 7 came out this year, Horizon Forbidden West. Those are 3 big first-party games from Sony themselves. We're not going to count remasters or remakes in these lists because that's silly. Those games have already released prior. So, 3 big games from the first party is a pretty good year. But I've always kind of stuck by this, that these 3 games were supposed to launch last year, and so the delay set them into a much better position this year. So, with that being said, this year would have been dry for them as well if they hadn't, had delayed the games from last year. And I think Microsoft is going to be in equal good shape next year thanks to delays of games from this year. But we'll see how it works out. Anything can happen. But there has been an update on God of War Ragnarok. Jason Schreier has dropped even more information. To say it's been a bizarre week for God of War Ragnarok would be an understatement. After leaker The Snitch hinted at a June 30th reveal, producer Cory Barlog would clarify that no announcement was coming. Various reports indicated that the release date and the release announcement was delayed and that Sony Santa Monica was slated to reveal the collector's editions yesterday. In a recent comment on Reset Era, Bloomberg's Jason Schreier provided an update on the situation, and this is what he had to say. After talking with more folks yesterday, I can definitely say that there was a release date pre-order announcement planned for yesterday. It was bumped at some point last week. I don't know why. Speculation is because of the Roe versus Wade situation. Also, PlayStation has been trying to keep secrets so badly that most Sony Santa Monica employees weren't even told about it. Now, Schreier did previously note a release in November and confirms once again that the game is still on track for November. People working on it say it's a huge game and they seem to be pretty excited about it. Reminds me of the buzz I was hearing before the 2018 release of that God of War. Now, insider Tom Henderson also speculated that God of War Ragnarok could release on November 11th to avoid clashing with Need for Speed and Avatar Frontlines of Pandora. Officially, Sony hasn't said anything about a release date or even an announcement, so we'll have to wait either way. But again, like I said in the video I did the other day, what a slap in the face that would be if they release it on November 11th, which happens to coincide with clearly the day of Starfield's wannabe release, right? Like that was going to be the day that was going to release, and clearly, we're in a different kind of situation now. But again, I do think that, Sony has probably, I don't know if that's like a direct slap to Microsoft that they would do that. I think more or less it could be the situation that, we're going to see this kind of thing happen because it's absolutely the best time to release it because there's other games releasing around the time and it's going to be a busy time of year. So that would be smart on Sony's end of the deal. Also would be, I think, coincidentally more than anything, kind of a slap to Microsoft, but we'll see what happens before too long. But yeah, that's interesting that they come out and, they announce this type of stuff. And, for me personally, I think it's one of those announcements that kind of goes without saying, hey, we've got this big thing. And also there's rumors that possibly that Sony actually led a false trail to find out who the snitch is, right? Like that's not beyond the realm of possibility. Going back to the Xbox One era, Microsoft apparently had leaked some bad information and only told certain people, and that way they were able to flush out who was actually the culprit of leaking the information. This was a big deal back on like NeoGAF back in the day. So, we'll have to wait and see how it all pans out. But listen, I do think that what Sony is doing is smart. I'm sure that God of War Ragnarok is going to release this year. I'm excited for it. I would have loved to have gotten, the pre-order announcements yesterday or the other day, whenever they were supposed to happen, because, I'm excited for the game. But at the end of the day, it doesn't make or break my excitement. I'm still excited for it. I still think Sony's got a lot of great things coming and a lot of great things going on. And, at the end of the day, you can't ask for much more than that, can you? So I think we should get into it, and I think that everybody should just be thankful and happy with what they got, because Sony is really coming out with a pretty decent year this year. Next year shaping up to be a pretty decent year. So in general, gaming is really coming along nicely this generation. Let me know what you guys think, though. I will link this in the description. You can check it out. Thank you for watching. If you do enjoy my content, please leave a like. It helps the video to be seen and the channel to grow. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, crap gamer 'em up. Crap gamer out.